Dorset Congregational Church in South Essex, and I'm a tutor with the course, and I help with the personal tutoring and the students with special needs. I trained in medicine at the Royal Free School, and my special interest was obstetrics and gynecology. But it was made obvious that I couldn't continue that career, so I became a general practitioner. I had a special interest also in emergency medicine, having been at King's Cross Fire and Clapham Junction things. I was brought up in the Anglican Church and drifted. My son joined the Boys Brigade, the local Baptist church, and being a good dad, I went along to the church parades once a month and then church once a week, and that was how I came back into faith. Faith did help in medicine, and was the blocking point, because when I was required to do abortions regularly and right up to the last minute by dates, I asked myself the question, when is it ever right? And I haven't managed to answer that question yet, so hence my change in career. I went into theological training because our local pastor invited me to do some worship leading and some preaching, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do this decently, I must do it properly. So I started with Spurgeon's College, but then changed from Baptist church to a congregational church, and changed from Spurgeon's to our own Federation training course, and finished my training in that way. I was trained in medicine, which is very certain training. We're taught this is the bone, this is the muscle, this is the insertion, learn it, and there's a huge amount of rote learning there. So there's right and there's wrong. What I found with the training with the Federation is that uncertainty is perfectly acceptable. One of my big difficulties was in taking exams, I was expected to give the right answer. In the Federation's training, I was expected to give my answer, which nobody ever told me whether I was right or wrong. But these clever people were teaching me, and so I thought, well, I better give them the answers that they wanted. And actually, they didn't want the answers that they had given me, they wanted my answers. It was very different, and it took me time to actually get used to that idea that what I thought mattered could actually be right. And that was a great uncertainty for me at first, and I'm still not convinced that I can cope with this very well. My marks got better through the course, perhaps because I dared to say what I thought instead of what I thought they wanted me to say. I've been able to question what I thought. I've been able to read the Bible and lots of other books. I've been able to ask people what they think about it. I've come to realise that there is uncertainty because we don't know the answers by any means. But I've also come to realise that there's layers, that you can take away one layer as you learn a bit more, and there's a depth there, and the depth grows with time, so that the training has been digging deeper into the Bible, into the history of faith, and into my faith. I had a light bulb moment early on in my learning when they showed a film on television. It showed a person standing there, and they zoomed out from that person slowly, out from the person to the street, to the town, the city, the country, Earth, the solar system. The hugeness of the cosmos right out to the depths of space. And we could see all these planets and these galaxies circling around a central body. And then they reversed it. Everything went back down to the one person. And then we focused in on that person's hand, blood vessels, cells, and the bits that made up the cells and the atomic particles, right down to those subatomic particles. And what do we find? Things circulating around a central being. And they came out again. And it showed that whether you were miles out in space, years out in space, or whether you were right down to the subatomic, there was organisation. There was something arranged there, something which was, in fact, circulating around a central being. And that gave me a strong feeling that this wasn't random. Science wasn't random. Science was actually organised and put together and held together by a central being of faith. If I turn to the theological training, though, instead of the certainty of the science and the organisation of it, there is still a certainty. There is